Hello, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to pull some cards and share some guidance for this weekend. That's Saturday the 7th and Sunday the 8th of October 2023. So I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Saturday the 7th of October here. And the time is 8:49 a.m. So welcome. I want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you to everyone who's taken advantage of some of my supportive services sale this week. There's a couple more days left. If you missed it and you'd like to order a spirit guide drawing or some intuitive healing time with me via video or some email readings and things like that, have a look at templeofbalance.com.au and look up the store tab and then the sale tab, and you can find some sales. I don't sale things that often, so there's just a couple more days left of that if you want to take advantage. So if you are new to watching, welcome. Hi, Siobhan. What I'll be doing is using my decks here that I've made, Speed of Light Oracle and Animal Kingdom Oracle cards have been combined to make a 110 card deck. So I'll be using this deck to find the best cards for this weekend. I trust in my cards and I trust in the way I select my cards, and we'll see what comes up from the cards. I recommend that you take on board what feels right and what resonates with you and what fits into your life easily. Pay attention to the things that seem like I'm talking just to you, that it's just you and me here. Those things, it's no accident, I'm sure, that you happen to be here. So let this be a guide and let's see what happens. So the best card for the majority of us for Saturday the 7th of October 2023, hi Rebna, hi Lindsay, is an Animal Kingdom Oracle card, and it's a featured chiming card. It's the solar cycle. It has further instructions here which say to take the top card from the deck, so that's easy. I just go to the top card and we have the Sea Dragon. So these two cards have come up together for Saturday, and they've come up together for a reason. So we're going to look at them separately and then we'll look at their relationship together. So the solar cycle card's pretty self-explanatory. There are 4 featured timing cards in my Animal Kingdom deck. So this is one of the timing cards, which talks about a 24-hour cycle, so basically the cycle of the sun. So 24 hours past, 24 hours future, and also can bring highlight to taking one day at a time, and the one day, like a 24-hour period, being quite significant. So we're looking at this for Saturday. We could even overlap this to Sunday, but we are reading for the weekend anyway, so the 2 days are linked up. So this is the solar cycle, and it comes up with the Sea Dragon, card 18. And the Sea Dragon says to be gentle with yourself. So there's a fragile, gentle, vulnerable, perhaps sensitive to energy with the Sea Dragon. It feels a bit fragile, like it's a bit breakable, like it could break pretty easily. It also feels camouflage, like it wants to blend in with the surroundings or blend in with things and not really stand out too much in regards to being different, let's say. Or so the blending in feeling some of us might feel, depending on our situation and our activities for Saturday, where we just want to blend in and we don't want to stir things up too much. We don't want to speak up too much. We may just want to sort of mingle in the background. For example, or sit quietly. So there's a gentleness that wants to come in where we're really being encouraged to nurture and be gentle with ourselves, especially if we're feeling quite emotional. And we might find that we need to do this over the next day. I mean, this is a day reading anyway, but this is emphasized, otherwise this card wouldn't have come up either. So we're talking about the day anyway, but this is amplified because we've got the 1 day, 24-hour card, that we might find that we need to be gentle with ourselves over Saturday. So that's that. So let's see what we've got for Sunday. So I trust you are well, and this video finds you well. The sun is shining, and I would have loved to have been outside, but it's very, very cold because we had a frost overnight. It's only 3 degrees Celsius outside, and I thought, well, I could do it in a couple of hours when it's 10 degrees and quite warm in the sun, but I really wanted to get the reading done now so I can go and do some of my activities for the day. So, Sunday the 8th of October, the best card for the majority of us is this, and we've broken our little cycle of Animal Kingdom Oracle cards from the last video and the reading just for Saturday. And we have for Sunday the Purification card, and it is card 8 for the 8th of October. It says, it's Purification, it says cleanse, detoxification and toxins. This suggests, and this has been coming up a little bit even over the last 12 to 24 hours, is this cleansing, purging, clearing energy that's, I don't know if required is quite the right word, but is recommended or suggested. And there is this pull to clearing and cleaning and letting go. Now, this could especially be focused around things in it that are going on in our life at this time that make us feel a bit tense, or that we have issues around, or we feel agitated by. And instead of holding on to that irritation and that agitation and that anger, perhaps, we're being encouraged to really let that energy and those emotions and that intensity move. So the best way to let it move is to let it go. And it could be through expression, it could be through talking about it, writing about it, doing something physical to get the energy moving and out. Hi, Denise and Teresa. Basically, it's about being willing to let our hold go of the anger and the agitation and the irritation and that sort of thing, to let our hold go. Because sometimes we think we have to hold on to that because we're bitter and we're resentful and we're angry. And so we kind of hold ourselves in that space, which actually allows or means that we hold and hover in that space. But actually the energy, because it is emotions want to be in motion, they want to move. So the best thing we can do to resolve that's if we're willing to move past our anger and bitterness and resentment, because that is also part of the reason we hold on to, because we want to keep being angry and resentful and bitter and perhaps blaming and for some reason we hold ourselves in that space. So just be careful, especially on Sunday, but really around this time period, that you're not letting yourself hold on to those heavier, more negative and intense emotions. So there is this underlying energy, and especially here for Sunday, that is pulling us to really consider the recommendation to let go, to let our hold go. And for me, just like since last night, really, I've been looking at how I can surrender. I find surrender really powerful because I feel like surrender is almost the opposite of holding on. So when there's an energy inside me that sort of grips me and holds me, and it tends to be that irritation, anger, agitation, resentment sort of energy, it holds on and it sort of grips me. And I find if I can let my hold go and sort of surrender myself and surrender my need, whatever that little need is that I have to hold that anger in play because of what's happened. I mean, why am I still holding on to that, or why do we? So surrendering and sort of letting that grip go that it has on us go is very, very freeing. So I personally really like the word surrender in this, because I feel like there's a surrendering, there's a release. It's sort of hard to explain. I think of surrender as like dropping back into the ocean, and there's nothing holding, but also there is this falling, but we're falling into something that we know will hold us. But it's not the energy or the emotion gripping us and keeping a tenseness happening inside us. I don't know if this is making any sense. But some other energy or other words to use, which are pretty much the same as surrender, letting go, clearing, cleansing, releasing, purging, purification. So think about, especially on Sunday, but maybe around this time, so if it's still Friday for you, and maybe or Saturday, I think this is still very relevant because I've already been thinking about this and actively doing it. I think that it's come up again just to sort of, so that I'll keep talking about it if you like. I think it might really help support us, especially if we're struggling with things or we're feeling really challenged, to really look at where we can clear and purge. And it might be a spring clean of a room or our house on the weekend or on Sunday. It might be clearing our schedule. It might be taking a break from social media, turning our phone off for a while if we feel quite attached to it at the moment. It might be stepping outside and being active if we're able to do that too. So see how you go, but our card for Sunday is purification. So clearing, cleansing, basically letting go, letting things move, and letting ourselves move. Because anytime we hold on, it keeps the energy, the emotion, the anger or whatever it is, it keeps that locked up inside us, but it keeps us held back. So usually if I'm feeling, and if others come to me and say I'm feeling stuck, and I've been feeling stuck for days or weeks or months, it's usually because we're holding on to an emotion that wants to move, because it wants to be emotion, but we're holding on to it. So think of your emotions. They want to move from one feeling to the next. Can you feel your way through whatever it is that you're dealing with? And feeling our way through means we feel the anger, and we let it drive us into a new feeling, and then a new feeling and a new feeling. That's how we feel our way through. When we become very, unless we've got something crazy going on that would warrant it, this is why we'd also feel very awash with emotion and stuck and stagnant, because things build up. It's just like water, because emotions are like water. So when water sits in a puddle, and it just sits and sits and sits, it becomes rancid, it becomes green and awful and stinky. And that's what emotions do if we just let them sit and fester inside of us. So think of your emotion, feel it, be honest about it, and let it move to the next emotion through expression, through releasing, through expressing in a safe and constructive way. As you let the energy move, let it flow. It's the same thing as being in the flow. We're not in the flow if we're holding on to things. So purification, card 8 for the 8th. So that's that. Let's get ready to pull a theme card. So before I do, thank you for joining me today. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love if you're watching on Facebook. Please comment, please share, please interact if you're inspired to. If you'd prefer to send us a message more privately, then please email us through our website. Please subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and please follow if you're watching on Facebook, and please come back and look out for these videos in the future if you don't see them for a couple of days, because I'm here on Facebook every day and have been since 2009. It's funny when people suddenly see my work again and they're like, where did you go? Nowhere. So don't forget to come back and connect with the page, please. And if you'd like to learn more about me and the work I do at Temple of Balance, if you would like to support my work so that I can keep doing these videos and bringing them to you and my other things, then please have a look on my website at templeofbalance.com.au and see if there's anything there that calls to you, because your support through my website is how I stay here. So we're turning 20 next year. I've been here for 19 plus years, which is very exciting. Actually, it's not next year, it's 2025. 2025 we turn 20. So actually we're 18 going into 19, which is pretty amazing. So thank you for your support over those years. And if you want to see us continue to our 20th birthday, please have a look on my website and please consider supporting my work. Please consider becoming a Patreon member too, where it's just a small exchange each month, whatever amount you can afford, and in exchange you get access to resources, special resources that I create each month. So you can find out about that on my website too under the membership tab. So let's look for the best theme card for this weekend. So I'm looking for the best theme card the majority of us need for this weekend, Saturday the 7th and Sunday the 8th of October. And we have another Speed of Light Oracle card, and it's this, the Jellyfish. Okay, so this is highlighting that vulnerability energy of the Sea Dragon. I find the Sea Dragon and the Jellyfish fairly similar, although the Jellyfish has more of a protective element, but they have the same sort of feeling, the way they move with the currents and the way they move with the water and where the water goes. So this is the flow element too that's coming in. So if you're very much feeling like you're out of your flow at the moment, and maybe it is because you're holding on too tight to anger or irritation or tension or difficulties that you're dealing with in your life, then surrendering and letting go in whatever capacity you can, and just your willingness to do that, you'll probably find that helps kick you back into the flow again. So this is especially if you've been feeling out of the flow. If you're feeling out of the flow, you're most likely also feeling out of balance, out of alignment, and probably not really yourself. You might even be feeling at conflict with yourself and quite tense in your body. So all these sorts of things seem to impact our balance and ultimately our flow, because I feel to be in the flow we have to be in somewhat in a state of balance. So if the flow has been blocked for you, why? And how can you get things moving this weekend to get yourself back in the flow? So this is card 55, which is the last card in the Speed of Light Oracle card deck. And it's the Jellyfish, and it says vulnerable, flow, sensitive, and protection. So very similar to the Sea Dragon, which said to be gentle with yourself. So gentleness is coming in, but that's because the sensitivity is in the air. We only tend to need to be gentle with ourselves when we're feeling sensitive. So it's okay to feel sensitive. I think sometimes too, in fact often, the more sensitive I feel, the more I'm holding on to something that I'm not allowing myself to see or feel. And so the sensitivity, the emotion heightens and heightens and heightens as everything backs up, builds up inside, because I'm not letting that feeling move for whatever reason. I might be scared to face the truth, for example. Or I might be wanting to hold blame to someone for something that I'm not currently taking responsibility for, or whatever it might be. There might be good justification in that anger and bitterness. But if it's backing things up and we're not feeling, if we're not letting the energy move and in our the optimum balance that we could be in based on our situation and circumstances, then there's probably something that needs to be done. So we might be sensitive, we might need to be gentle with ourselves this weekend, and we might need to really look at seriously, especially if we're really backed up and we're super sensitive and we're very blocked and we're very stuck, that this will be an opportunity for us to really look at freeing ourselves. So to free ourselves is to release, it's to surrender, it's to clear, it's to let go. It's so using your journal to help support your letting go might be helpful. You might find you probably want to, but we probably shouldn't. We'll probably want to sit around feeling sorry for ourselves. But that's probably not the most ideal thing for us to be doing this weekend, especially if we're feeling this way. So we might find it more helpful, especially afterwards. We might not want to do it to begin with, but to do something more active. It could be go for a walk, get ourselves out there. It could be go and do stuff. It could be clear out the house and do a spring clean, open all the windows if the weather's nice, get the sheets washed or whatever, get some new things, get some things happening, get active and proactive in bringing some fresh new energy in, because fresh new energy comes in when we're letting the old stagnant energy out. So, and we can also do more formal letting go, where we're seriously with our journal, with our cards and with our tools of support, using those to also help support more serious focused time on letting go. but we can do that while we're doing our daily activities too. So see how you go and see what's a bit stuck and stagnant and a bit rancid, a bit off and building up too much within you, and what can you do to sort of burst that bubble a bit this weekend so it doesn't keep building up and building up over time. So the jellyfish is our theme, flow, heightened sensitivity, but there's also an element of protection too within the jellyfish. So that's that. Thanks so much. Have a fantastic weekend, and I will be back for the next card reading video on Monday. So please keep an eye out for that. Have a great weekend. I'll see you soon. Bye.